So, about the cross. I used to think that I had to find ways to die, or that every time some situation came, um, I was supposed to pick up my cross. And so I thought that that was what it meant to be a disciple, would be that in every situation, I would have to conquer the difficulty by being determined to follow Jesus and not give up. And that didn't work. That didn't work. I failed miserably until I found myself basically saying, I'm going fishing. And I joined the army. Because I gave up. I joined the army because I was so done trying to be a Christian. I just couldn't take it anymore. I had been so wrecked trying to carry the cross and finding out I'm just unable to do it. Jesus, I can't do it. I can't do it. I got to do something else. So I joined the army. And then he came after me, came to come find me, and took care of me and carried me and brought me back to the gospel. And it was still in my heart because I remember. I remember when when somebody asked me how did they get saved while I was in the army, and you know what, I hadn't been reading my Bible, I hadn't done nothing. It'd been a while. I said, just believe, just believe. The word was still in there. He was still in there. Just believe that Jesus died for you and rose from the dead, and you will be saved. I hadn't read my Bible forever. I don't even know where that came from. I really don't. Well, now I do, but I wouldn't have. Now I know where it came from. It came from the Spirit of God that dwelt inside of me. And I was so mixed. Here's the funny thing. This is what's funny. I was so mixed up in Lordship salvation, and I was so jacked up in my basic understanding of the gospel that it surprised me when I said that. I remember when I said that, I was like, all you have to do is just believe that Jesus died for you and rose from the dead, and you will be saved. That's it. That's all that's required. And then I thought to myself, wait a second. That's it, really? This was years ago. This was probably 6 years ago. And that came out of my mouth, and I was thinking, that's not what I've been doing with this whole thing. I've been studying all these teachers from the Reform, and I haven't heard that in forever. Where did that come from? Well, his seed abides in me. And I made a mess of myself. Somebody asked me that, and that was what came out. It's him. That word, that's him. I was so messed up, I didn't know what was what. I gave up following Jesus. I gave up following Jesus. I stopped. I was like, I'm joining the army. I can't do this. I can't deal with this. This is too much for me. I cannot be going out and street preaching anymore. I'm gonna lose my mind. And I'm a hypocrite as I'm telling people they need a changed life, and I don't have a changed life. Not in the way that I'm telling people. I can't get rid of things. There's still sin in my life that I can't. I haven't repented of this. I haven't done a 180. I haven't changed directions and completely stopped doing the things I used to do. No, I still got problems. So, it stunned me. The gospel stunned me at that moment. I was surprised because it was right, but I was so confused. And I hadn't believed that that was right in a while. But that was what came out. And I stuck to it. And I kept sticking to it. That's it. You just believe it and you're saved. And I kept saying it until one day. Until one day when I got mixed up in some stuff. I got mixed up in some teaching again, some bad teaching. And I started to go back to that whole change life transformation stuff. That stuff. And what happened was the Lord disciplined me, and it was unbearable. It was so bad. And it was only like a day or two. But I won't forget that one. That one was bad. I, oh, I was like, something's wrong. Something is desperately wrong. Lord, have mercy on me. I don't know what's up. I don't know what's up, what's down, or left or right. I need you to show me and fast, because I'm gonna crash this whole. I'm gonna crash everything again. And then I started getting clear on what grace is, and the fact that everything flows out of the grace of God, and it's not about a changed life from man's perspective. There is a work that God is doing that I don't even have the ability to make a judgment call and say that, this is what should happen. There's so much that there's stuff that he does that, it's not of flesh. Flesh and blood doesn't recognize it. And when you get in the flesh, you start to try and judge things according to the flesh, and then you end up being scared of the Lord. I was. I go burping again. Getting scared of God and thinking that, well, I'm really scared of you, Lord. I'm downright terrified of you. And but his blood speaks a better thing. His blood speaks something better, because I'm guilty, but I need that washing of the blood. So that chastisement was very timely and well needed, because it saved me from going right back into the same garbage. And it was just a different form. Before it was reformed, and now it was NAR, and it was crazy. And thank goodness it didn't go far. I was already caught up in charismatic stuff before, but some of this NAR stuff had too much Pauline doctrine, and I didn't know what was. It was too much Bible, and a lot of stuff that was very confusing. So yeah, he disciplined me, and it was good. It was good. He worked it out for good. I guess this is more rambling. He is so faithful, and even when, I started talking about the cross. That was what it was. The So I thought I had to carry my cross, and again, kept coming back to me until I started listening to some messages about Romans, showing me that the cross is a done deal. I couldn't carry the cross. That's too much. It's too much for me. He's got to carry it. He already did carry it. And he put me to death with him. He died my death so that I could die with him and be raised with him. So there's no responsibility on my end. I just get to receive and receive and receive until it all just spills out. That should be it. Take care. Thanks for praying for me. Anybody who prayed for me. Thanks for being my brothers and sisters. Glad I get to spend eternity with people who know Jesus and are loved by him.